Now here is an Inside the Eye feature from our global friendly outlet sources, exclusively picked for Blue Eye Media. Learn the truth behind what mainstream and opinion outlets will never say. Get the inside facts of this chronicle.
A number of major news stories have come out in just the past couple of hours that completely expose Donald Trump, his administration, and his incompetence. And I think it's safe to say that Trump is in full-blown panic mode over these stories, and you can really see it in his social media postings. Now, look, there are some explosive details in these articles that have never been seen by the public before, so I really don't have any time to waste. There's so much to get through in this video, so let's just start here. And of course, if you enjoy this video, if you appreciate the pushback against MAGA, make sure to subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think about these stories. And without further ado, let's dive in. CNN and The Independent reported today that Donald Trump's nominee to lead the Bureau of Labor Statistics has been accused of trolling top Democrats with an offensive Twitter account. Now, I think this headline kind of waters down the remarks that were made by this guy toward different Democratic politicians. I'm going to show you some of the exact comments he made later, and they're incredibly gross, incredibly sexist, misogynistic, homophobic. I mean, just bigoted all across the board. E.J. Antony, who is 37 and an economist with the Heritage Foundation, and of course been nominated by Trump now, ran the account from 2015 to 2020, but it has since been deleted. The network, CNN, who reported on it, said the account, which existed under multiple names at different times, was used to make degrading and sexist remarks about female Democratic politicians, including Kamala Harris, AOC, Rashida Tlaib, and Ilhan Omar. And this is the guy behind the account. You can see him standing next to Donald Trump right there. The account was also reportedly used to make baseless allegations about left-leaning public figures, to subject gay TV news anchors like Anderson Cooper and Don Lemon to bigoted insults, and to entertain conspiracy theories about COVID-19 and the 2020 presidential election. And he also targeted people like John McCain, Christine Blasey Ford, and more. All of this kind of seems like a prerequisite to get into the Trump administration. Like, if you haven't made bigoted comments online, you're probably not going to get hired. But if you run an account like this, they'll love it. They'll eat it up. Now, I want to show you some of the exact insults made by this guy and kind of explain why I think that headline watered it down a little bit. And this is Andrew Kaczynski, the original reporter of this story. But here's just some specifics, and I'm not going to read all of it because it's just so grotesque. But for example, he tweeted, "You can't run a race on your knees," in response to a doctored campaign poster that depicted a sexually explicit image of Kamala Harris. That's the kind of guy that Donald Trump hires. This is the kind of company that he keeps in his administration. And it's very telling about how he's running this operation, how he's running the country, when you have people who are not only unqualified, but also just fundamentally bad people in these really important roles. I mean, that's incredibly concerning to me as an American. Whether you're a Democrat, Republican, I don't think anybody believes that we should have people like this running these major agencies. And that's just one of the stories that has come out about Trump's admin today. And, you know, this guy's been nominated. He has to get approved by the Senate. Will it change anything? You'd hope. You'd hope that Republican senators would grow a spine, but I'm not holding my breath. Now, I want to transition to another story that came out about the Trump administration. And man, oh man, is it the economy? Is it the jobs report? It was devastating for the United States today. And I'm not saying devastating for Trump, devastating for all of us, because Trump's incompetence is going to hurt every single American. We learned that there were only 22,000 jobs added in the month of August, less than the expectation of 75,000. There were also major revisions for other months, including June, which was revised down by 27,000, leading to negative 13,000 jobs. This is the first time you've had negative jobs since 2020, the COVID pandemic. And I have this video from Fox announcing this, and you can just see the sadness on their face. If there's any joy in this jobs report, it is seeing the Fox News people who are so loyal to Donald Trump announcing that it just wasn't great. Take a look.
Go through them, Lauren.
Yep, I sure do. 22,000 jobs added in the month of August. That was much less than the expectation of 75,000, guys. The July number was revised. I will get to revisions in a moment. Unemployment rate coming in as expected, 4.3%. So that would be higher than July's 4.2%. Again, 22,000 jobs added in August. Let me get you the revisions because this is what everybody is focused on. For June and July together, combined 21,000 jobs lower than previously reported. I'll categorize that now. So you see for June, it was revised down by 27,000, getting you to negative 13,000, and the change for July up by 6,000, getting you to 79,000.
Wow. I mean, you know, this is a truly devastating report for the economy, and Trump is continuing on his path of destruction. The tariffs, the cutting taxes for the wealthy, raising them for the middle class. I mean, this is a recipe for disaster, a recipe for failure, and Donald Trump is continuing. And you're seeing all these different businesses, big, small, medium, saying, hey, these tariffs are hurting us. They are making things more expensive. We're having to pass it down to the consumer. And if they're eating even a little bit of it, it's making it very difficult for them to stay open, for them to operate. And the Governor Newsom press office account included some specifics of this job report, and of course over the last 3 months. In manufacturing, the United States has lost 31,000 jobs, mining 13,000, construction 10,000. Unemployment is up. The June jobs report revised to negative. This may be Trump's golden era, but it's not America's. I mean, these numbers are stunning. Manufacturing, especially, negative 31,000 jobs. Donald Trump's whole argument is that the tariffs would bring manufacturing back, and it's doing the opposite. It's sending jobs abroad, and MAGA stands by him no matter what. Now, these two stories happening in the last couple of hours would be enough to really cause the Trump administration to have a bad day. But it got even worse when the New York Times dropped this explosive expose on Trump 1.0, his first administration, where he and his team covered up a failed Navy SEAL mission in North Korea. Yes, seriously, what I said is true, and this article is stunning. It's a long article, so we're just going to read a bit of it. I would highly recommend, if you have a subscription to the New York Times, giving the whole thing a read. But let's dive in here. How a top secret SEAL Team 6 mission into North Korea fell apart. A group of Navy SEALs emerged from the ink black ocean on a winter night in early 2019 and crept to a rocky shore in North Korea. They were on a top secret mission so complex and so consequential that everything had to go exactly right. The objective was to plant an electronic device that would let the United States intercept the communications of Kim Jong-un. The mission had the potential to provide the United States with a stream of valuable intelligence. Of course, that would be incredibly valuable, but it meant putting American commandos on North Korean soil, a move that, if detected, could not only sink negotiations, but lead to a broader crisis. It was so risky that it required the president's direct approval. For the operation, the military chose SEAL Team 6's Red Squadron, the same one that killed Osama bin Laden. The SEALs rehearsed for months, aware that every move needed to be perfect, but when they reached what they thought was a deserted shore that night, wearing black wetsuits and night vision goggles, the mission swiftly unraveled. A North Korean boat appeared out of the dark, flashlights from the bow swept over the water. Fearing that they'd been spotted, the SEALs opened fire. Within seconds, everyone on the boat was dead. The SEALs retreated into the sea without planting the listening device, and the 2019 operation has never been publicly acknowledged or even hinted at by the United States or North Korea. The details remain classified and are being reported here for the first time. And of course, the White House declined to comment. They also did not notify key members of Congress who oversee intelligence operations before or after the mission. Donald Trump wanted to keep this entirely secret, a failed mission And now it's being reported for the first time in 2025. And this happens the same day that we get these devastating job numbers, this expose on this Trump admin official or this Trump appointee for the Bureau of Labor Statistics. But this just shows you the incompetence of Donald Trump, that when given the opportunity for these major military operations, it always goes wrong. In the economy, it always goes wrong with these people he's appointing to these major government agencies. He always picks people who are loyal to him, not people who are competent, not people who can actually do the job. That's Donald Trump's entire thing. And as I said at the very beginning of the video, I think it's pretty clear that Trump is in full-blown panic mode over these articles, and you can really see it in his social media posting because he actually decided to talk about Epstein today. The numbers for the jobs report was so bad that Trump changed the topic to Epstein, saying the confused and badly failing Democrat Party did nothing about Epstein while he was alive except befriend him, socialize with him, travel to his island, and take his money. Sounds like Donald Trump is talking about himself. They knew everything there was to know about Epstein, but now, years after his death, they, out of nowhere, are seeming to show such love and heartfelt concern for his victims. Democrats have always cared about his victims. Donald Trump does not. Where were they during his very public trials and for all those years before his death? Again, if you just look at some of the social media accounts of Democrats, there were plenty of people calling for the files to be released for the victims to see justice. And he, once again, you don't really have to read the rest of it. I mean, you can if you want. It's just total BS. It's the usual stuff from Trump. But then again, he calls this a hoax. He calls the Epstein story a hoax. He said it again 2 times actually in this post, saying the Democrat Epstein hoax. And I mean, it's just incredibly offensive. It's rude to the survivors, calling their experience, their story a hoax. But that's what Donald Trump does. This all happened in one day, and not even like a 24-hour period, a matter of like 5 hours that this has occurred. And Donald Trump has kind of had this spiral take place right in front of his eyes. A lot going on today, a lot of negatives for Trump. And you know, he's shooting himself in the foot further by calling the Epstein story a hoax. But regardless of all that, I just had to bring you all these different stories, whether it be North Korea failed mission, the terrible job numbers, whatever it might be. It's been a bad day for Donald Trump. So look, I will leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. Make sure to subscribe down below. It goes an incredibly long way. Drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think about this story. And as I always say, I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.
Follow Blue Eye Media exclusive insights and breaking news sources from global friendly outlets that you won't get from the mainstream TV and radio outlets of America. Learn how to play the flute of the globe and learn the real truth.